you.
Besides
Yeah.
market nothing.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our live today. My name is Riley, and I'm with the Avulux team. I'm co-hosting today with Kiara from CEFALY, and we're joined by Alicia Wolf, who is also known as the Dizzy Cook. And Kiara, I'll throw it over to you to introduce yourself and Marina.
Of course. Thank you, Riley. And thank you, Alicia. My name is Kiara. I'm here with CEFALY, and I'm happy to have Marina with me. So, Marina, why don't you introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, my name is Marina. I'm the founder of Parenting with Migraine. I started to experience migraine when I was a child and became chronic during pregnancies and when I had my kids. Hi.
Thanks, Marina. So we're going to dive right in. And Alicia, I'll start with you. Can you share with us a little bit about your experiences with migraine?
Yeah, so I was diagnosed about 8 years ago, and that was after seeing about 7 or 8 different doctors who didn't understand that I was actually experiencing migraine attacks because my attacks came without head pain. So they were coming with dizziness, vestibular symptoms. I felt like I was walking on marshmallows. I would have vertigo episodes. But without that head pain, a lot of people were missing that I was actually having migraine attacks. When I was finally diagnosed with chronic vestibular migraine, I started on a treatment plan. And ever since then, I've had periods of remission and periods of low episodic migraine now. And that's pretty much my story.
Thanks for sharing, Alicia. Marina, what about you? Can you tell us about your experience?
Yeah, sure. So like I jumped ahead a little bit earlier. I became chronic when I had my children, and it was a really difficult time in my life. You know, I was had crying babies that I was putting down to nap. I was changing diapers while my head was pounding. It was just a really, really difficult time. And it went on for years and years. I was having daily migraine attacks. And it was just difficult to survive that way. And I found support groups on social media, and I learned to advocate for myself and learn more about migraine. And with time, I started to get better and better. And that's actually how I became a migraine advocate. And that's why I am here today.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that, Marina. Alicia, can you also tell us about some strategies that you use to cope with migraine?
Yeah, so because whenever I was diagnosed with vestibular migraine, I was kind of looking into more natural treatments because I was hoping to get pregnant. And what we didn't realize was that I would eventually have to go through IVF and infertility treatments and everything like that. So leaning on natural treatments became extremely important to me in my migraine management. So although we did start off with some medications, it was ultimately my goal to wean off or to find things that I could do throughout pregnancy. So a lot of those things I do to this day. So I manage my vestibular migraine with a lot of supplements. Magnesium is an incredibly important one to me, and I take
love that one.
2 different types. I like to mix and match my magnesiums. And then I also work a lot with diet. So I have the website, The Dizzy Cook. Started off as helping people with migraine diet recipes since it can be kind of a tricky diet. But my second cookbook was the Mediterranean migraine diet, which is more of how I eat now. So when I was chronic, I started with the elimination diet to help kind of reduce my symptoms and get them under control. And then once I started feeling better, I added back in foods to see if I had any food triggers. And I found a few through that. So now I'm able to follow this Mediterranean diet, which is high in omega-3s, balancing that with lower omega-6s, and eating a lot of healthy vegetables, a variety of foods, and lots of berries and everything, things to support my brain health along the way. So that's kind of how I've transitioned over the time. And
My
then,
son, Alicia, my son is a fan of you and your cookbook,
yeah.
which is prominently displayed in our kitchen.
I know Marina always likes to make the cilantro sauce, so I have
I know,
zucchini
it is
poppers
my
that she
favorite,
really
and my
likes.
kids love it.
So that's a good one if you're watching along. Look up the chicken zucchini poppers with the cilantro sauce. That's a really popular one. And then finally, I like to use things like Avulux migraine glasses in my management too. It can kind of help me. Like today is a really good day for me. So I'm wearing them to hopefully control any my migraine threshold. So keep things on the lower end, not add any light sensitivity or anything in that case. But they can also help me on more symptomatic days that I just need a little bit of eye relief.
Yeah,
Ooh, those are the big things.
all right. Thanks for sharing that. I love that. What about you, Marina? What strategies do you use to cope with migraine?
So for me as well, I also found that medications alone were not enough for me to manage migraine, as is the case for many of us with chronic migraine. And like Alicia, I also to add some lifestyle changes and natural treatments in my migraine treatment. So, I had to, I do meditation before bed. Although sometimes I'm not sure if I'm actually meditating or just using it as a sound machine. I use like stress relief strategies because stress is one of my big triggers. I do talk therapy, which helps me. I'm also starting CBT for sleep because irregular sleep is a big migraine trigger. Like Alicia mentioned, supplements is good. So I use magnesium and ginger. And then CEFALY is one of my big migraine strategies. I also use my Avulux glasses as well. So I don't want to be stealing Alicia's strategies, but a lot of them are overlapping, it seems.
Hey, Marina and I have been friends for a long time, and we talk a lot. This is like the great thing about having a migraine friend is like we talk a lot and we bounce ideas off of each other. And we both have completely different types of migraine, but a lot of the strategies work for both of us, or we find things that may help and we're like, hey, have you tried this? And it's really nice to have that community. Yeah.
The beauty of finding your community, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. I know a lot of people will be taking notes here today on all these strategies, so that's great. And can you both tell us a little bit about what you keep in your migraine toolkit as well? Maybe Alicia, we'll start with you on that one.
Yeah, so I mainly have a rescue kit now. I use vagus nerve stimulation now preventatively, but in my rescue kit, and I'm really interested in trying the CEFALY too, because I know that can help for vestibular migraine as well. But I mainly have a rescue kit, and in that I have 2 different rescue medications that I'll take if things are very severe or if I'm having a severe vertigo attack. But then I also rely on things to help with nausea. So a lot of different scented sticks. Like I really like the Ruwell. They have really good stuff. Or like nausea relief sticks that you can kind of smell. It's like different kinds of essential oils. As well as, roller balls if I have like any head pressure. Like I tend to get ear pain or neck pain sometimes. So I'll use that. Yeah, I know that's one for Marina too. And then again, magnesium. So I use the magnesium in different ways. Like if I'm experiencing a super severe attack, I will do like foot baths, especially if I'm having vertigo or something like that. Magnesium lotion, just a way to get it in transdermally, can kind of help if you're feeling really nauseous. I also have an anti-inflammatory smoothie that I really love that's in my cookbooks and on my website. A lot of people have said that it can kind of bring down symptoms, and it definitely helps to settle my stomach as well. It doesn't fit in a toolkit. You have to make it. And then finally, I take my Avulux glasses with me so often on traveling. I love them because travel is a big trigger for me. So especially like long airplane trips can leave me sometimes feeling unstable. So that's where I like to use Avulux in trying to keep my migraine threshold a little bit higher and avoid some of those symptoms or not make them as severe as they normally would be. And then also grocery shopping. So I have to do a lot of grocery shopping for my job. And it used to be something that I would go in to the grocery store with sunglasses and a big hat, and I would just earplugs and like try not to look at anything. But now with these glasses, like, and knowing that they can allow in that soothing green light too, it just makes things so much more tolerable. I don't have to use the hat anymore, or the earplugs. And as I've improved in my migraine journey too, that has been really beneficial too.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Alicia.
Yeah.
Marina, what about you? What's in your migraine toolkit?
Okay, so I'm just going to spit out earplugs before I forget, because I totally
Yeah.
forgot about that one. Yes, I totally use earplugs often. I go to kids' activities a lot after school, so I'm copying that one, Alicia.
No, you told me about that actually. You
Yeah,
have
I
the
love
favorite
my
ones that you really like.
Like they do all these after school activities and sports, and there's so much noise, and
Kids are loud.
so loud. These kids are so loud. They're like these natural noisemakers. And so I love the earplugs because I am noise sensitive. And I just like to be in my own little bubble. And the earplugs I have, you actually can still hear the conversations, just like dampens kind of like the shrieking, so that really helps a lot. And then CEFALY, of course, I've been using it for 4 years now. So that has been one of my top tools in my toolkit. Avulux as well. I like Alicia said, grocery shop. Thankfully, I do not go grocery shopping. My husband does. He drags me grocery shopping. I do take my Avulux with me, and it is really helpful. And CEFALY, like I said, I remember when I was pregnant and then had kids, and I was having those. Actually, it was during my pregnancy, and I came to see my headache specialist for the first time, and she said, basically, we can't do anything for you right now. Come see us when you're not pregnant anymore, and we'll have more options for you. And I remember asking them, what about this new device I heard about called CEFALY? And they said, oh, we don't think it's going to be helpful. And I often think about that because if only, and back then we needed prescription for it. Right now, we don't need a CEFALY prescription. And I'm thinking, if only I found a different doctor or persisted or, just got my hands on that CEFALY, I feel like my experience of postpartum or pregnancy could have been so much different. Other things in my toolkit are an ice hat and a heating pad, and it depends how I feel. Sometimes I like one or the other. During winter, cold months, I feel like I'm always cold, but I don't want an ice hat. I just want a heating pad, and both actually help me. Rollerballs with essential oils or medicine help me for my neck pain. I do have neck pain 24/7. And then acute medication. I need acute medication. And sometimes I could use CEFALY and it could abort my attack on its own if I catch it early enough, or I may need to take acute medication with it if my attack has gone on for like hours and I wasn't able to treat it early enough with the CEFALY. So I think those are like the top things in my toolkit.
Awesome. Yeah, there's so many great things in both of those toolkits. Marina, could you share a little bit more about how CEFALY works and when you use it?
Sure. I actually have it here with me. It's this little cute device, and I have the electrode. So you put the electrode on. I can do it right now. I do have makeup on. You have to wash. Ooh, oh my gosh, I can't look at that. Okay, sorry. And then you put it on, and you should be like laying down or leaning back, and then you turn it on. Okay.
Oh, does it stick? It sticks really well, huh?
It
On
does.
my top.
It does. And there's like, you can use like little wipes for your forehead
Okay.
to make it stick better. And then this is a charger. It's a charger. It's so cute. Like you just like plug it in, like, plug the charger into the wall, and then right here, and it could charge. It's really
And do
cute.
you use that preventatively or like as
It
a
can be
cue?
used preventatively.
Okay.
Preventively, the session is 20 minutes long preventively, and then you can also use it as an acute treatment. I often use it as an acute treatment because it's effective for me. And again, I've been using it for 4 years, and it's one of the first tools I reach for during a migraine attack. And the great thing about it is that now it's like, I think it's charging. The great thing about it is that I can use it. It's like a singing song.
It's like singing, yeah.
I can use it, and I do use it like anywhere and everywhere when where I can lay down, or used it at a kid's birthday party before with my earplugs, or of course on my couch. So it's easy to use and very, very portable. So I'm a fan.
Love that. Thanks, Marina. Alicia, I'm curious, how do the Avulux lenses work?
So basically, they are meant for migraine glasses, like migraine lenses. So they block out a lot of the blue light, but they allow in soothing green light. So that's what I really like about them, and that makes them a little bit different from other lenses out there. There have been studies over the years, especially recently, about how soothing green light can be effective for migraine management and bring down symptoms. I know that I use green light a lot for when I was going through IVF and I was dealing with a lot of intense anxiety, and that was contributing to my symptoms. So I was using a lot of like the green light therapy in that to help with like during meditation and my visualization exercises. It really got me through my first trimester. So when they kind of bottled that technology and put it into glasses, I'm like, heck yes, I really want to try these. And then I've just noticed, I've worn migraine glasses throughout my entire journey. But when Avulux came along, I really wanted to try their lenses because of this new technology. And what I found out is they're just so effective, especially when going, to places like Costco. We go to Costco every week. I have to go to so many different grocery stores to find different types of ingredients for the recipes I'm making, especially when I'm doing cookbook recipe testing. I mean, I'm at the grocery store all the time, and I don't think I could have done that before in the state that I was in with what I had available to me. So I'm really thankful to have these kind of resources to help me get back to the things that I love. So get back to cooking again, get back to traveling again. And it's just a really easy way to go about that. I do a lot of computer work too. And so I like to use them when I'm doing consults or if I'm doing a lot of recipe editing too. So I know it seems darker. I don't know how Riley's aren't so dark on here, but they're not that dark if you actually look at them. They look darker from far away on here, and maybe that's because my room is darker. But they're not so colored that like it distorts a ton on when I'm editing recipe photos and everything like that. And the only times I'll kind of take them off is if I really want to get like an accurate color. But overall, I can wear them throughout that whole process. And that really helps to kind of save my eyes and keep them refreshed. I also like to use them at the end of the day. So something that I'm working on right now is balancing my hormone health postpartum. And that has been really hard for me after this baby. I don't know if it's a girl thing, having a girl. Maybe Marina can tell me that, but
I still haven't recovered.
Okay, don't tell me that. But I just feel like I've been working really hard on trying to balance my hormones, and I think that's been helping my head, my vestibular migraine symptoms too, long term. And so one of the things that some of the people that I've worked with have suggested is to turn off screens at night or to prevent like any blue light, use blue light blockers and that sort of thing. So I'm trying to get better about using my Avulux at night if I have to be on my phone or doing any emails or anything like that. Try not to do. But if I want to watch a show to relax, like it's another good thing to try. And it helps to block that blue light before bed too.
I love that, Alicia. I have my pair too. I tried it on and I tried to make a face, but you were talking about like an.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That was so not appropriate.
You have the clear one. I like the clear ones. I have the champagne
interesting
ones.
Because I think the Avulux team told me that if you have clear frames, it actually makes the lenses look lighter. And I know that on the screen they look a little pinker, but in real life they look so much lighter, which I love because when I go places, it literally looks like I'm just wearing a pair of
normal glasses
or something, with like slight tint.
Yeah. And it's funny because we're all wearing like the same lenses, but like all three of our lenses look different on the screen. So I think that's just like a good proof that you just need to order them and have them.
I have a clear frame, right? And then I have the darker frame. Don't you think these look so much darker? They're literally the same pair.
It's crazy.
It's like some kind of
But if you hold it up to the screen, like it doesn't look like
they're the same.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of something I try to explain to people.
Love that. Thank you. Well, Marina, what advice would you have for people suffering with migraine?
Well, one of the things that helps me, and I'm sure everybody heard this advice, but I know that some people don't like to follow it, is that try treating your migraine with whatever treatment you have as early as you start to experiencing symptoms. Like for me, as soon as I experience a tingly sensation in my temples and I start to feel the neck pain, those are my signs, and everybody has their own signs that a migraine attack is on its way. So when I experience my signs, I know that I need to start treating if I want to abort my attack right away. So for me, it's CEFALY device, or if I know I have a long day ahead of me, like the kids' softball practice, and then I have a big project coming up, I'll do CEFALY and acute medication. It's very personal. We all have our own personal journeys, and you know your own body best. So don't wait, and I know that some people have a limited amount of medication, which is why a device like CEFALY is great, because you have unlimited treatments on it, which is why it helps me. So that's my advice, but also that for people who are watching, you're not alone. There's a migraine community out here for you. Join support groups on social media, follow advocates, form relationships with other migraine patients in the comment section, because that's how you become your own best advocate.
Yeah, that's great advice. We have such a great migraine community with amazing support, and everyone's always there for each other. So
that's how I met Alicia.
And Alicia, how about you? What advice would you have for others experiencing migraine?
Yeah, I would say that what Marina said is really important.
She's finally stealing my stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be hard. I know initially for me, it felt like I was having symptoms all the time. So it was hard for me to tell like when an attack was starting and when an attack was stopping, because I just felt like I was dizzy constantly. And so that's when like acute treatments were a little more difficult to use, because I just felt it wasn't unsure. And as I learned more about migraine, I started to notice like when symptoms would actually get worse for me, but it took me a little while to kind of peel back those layers and really distinctly be able to tell like, oh, when I get this vertigo attack, that's when it gets more severe, and that's when I should medicate or that sort of thing. So I think for me, what helped was overall like focusing on just keeping my migraine threshold high. So like even on good days, like today I feel great, but I'm still keeping up with my hydration. I'm still going to try to get good sleep. I'm still going to try to eat all the healthy foods and like balance my omega-3s and get in lots of good fruits and vegetables. I'm still going to work on, my hydration. I'm still going to wear my glasses while I'm doing things that may add to my threshold, like being on the computer all day and looking at the screen. And so that kind of thing will help me overall to keep everything lower so I don't reach that migraine threshold and cause an attack or cause that dizziness to come on. The other thing that was really beneficial for me was to find a specialist who dealt with vestibular migraine. So in our community, that's called a neuro-otologist, with a T in the middle, not just a neurologist. Sometimes that can be an ENT who sees a lot of vestibular migraine patients. The trouble with them is they can't always prescribe like all the migraine medications that a neurologist could. You can have neurologists who are headache specialists too. So like, especially if you are someone with like the traditional type of migraine or more pain focused, like they can help with that too. And I think finding someone that will really respect your choices, whether you want to try to navigate with more natural treatments or you're open to only certain kinds of medications. Someone who doesn't just say like, oh, those glasses won't work, or oh, those devices don't work. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I hear that, but I see the devices working for so many people, the devices like CEFALY. And I just, you have to find a doctor who will really be open to alternative treatments. And combining all those things together is really what made the biggest difference for me and got me to remission, and that I see work for other people too.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Alicia. And thank you as well, Marina, for joining us today. That's all we have for today. But for anyone who wants to learn more about Avulux, you can visit us at avulux.com. And you can find Alicia on socials at The Dizzy Cook and use her affiliate code, The Dizzy Cook, for $25 off Avulux. And I'll throw it over to you, Kiara.
Thank you, Riley. For CEFALY as well, you can find more information at cefaly.com, like here below. Don't forget to follow Marina on social as Parenting with Migraine, and easy, same word for her discount code that will give you 15% off your CEFALY device.
Amazing. Well, thank you as well to the audience for joining. And again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And otherwise, we hope everyone has a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.